Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's me to go first. I have the blank, and I have a bingo. Horrent is one of the bingos I have, and I'm going to play it because it scores the maximum amount, it doesn't take any hooks either side, and it doesn't place a vowel next to a premium square, so it can't get any better than this. Not so good, only one vowel and the UV combination. So do I change, or can I play through this? I have though done through the O of horrent, which certainly would be better than changing, and I can pluralize that. The second S is of little value. That lane may well be taken, as it's the hottest lane on the board as a double-double lane. So if that is blocked, do I have an alternative play? Given my lack of vowels, it may well be through the E of horrent, but then I'm going to struggle to hit a premium square. Well, if Vodun or Voduns is blocked, I may well consider changing. And if I changed, I would retain S and T. I haven't seen anything through the E rather, which is tempting. And I'm not going to score very much, even if I do find a play there. Right, the O has been blocked for Vodun. No new vowels have been provided. What my opponent has done, though, is provide a word which takes an S, and I do have an S, which I can stick on the end of Jurel. So maybe a play of dunce is worth considering. This splits up the UV combination, splits up the duplicate S, resolves the vowel consonant imbalance, and scores 25 points. So that was certainly better than changing. Now again, only one vowel, but a much better rack. The Y is a quasi-vowel, so I've got spying on my rack. But that burns the S, and with just one S, that's worth about 8 points. Vying would be a much better play, retaining PS. Not many opportunities on this board to play anything. Maybe my opponent will provide some additional opportunities. I have a 71-point lead, which is good. Nowhere at the moment for vying apart from column 9 through the N of horrent, but that doesn't score very much. I'm looking at the floaters in dunce to see if I've got a play through any of those, but I really am looking to play off the V and the Y if I can. Although this rack is better than the last one, it's still very unbingo-y. I certainly need to play off at least 2 of P, V and Y. So at the moment, I've spotted absolutely nothing to play. Now, what about row L? I've got Viney, Die, and Nye. That's pretty good, keeping GPS. Not a great rack lead, but it is going to be a great score. What else is available? I'm looking in column 4 to see if I've got anything down onto the H of horrent. I can't see anything which uses the V or the Y. Now, I do know my opponent. She has represented Trinidad, I think, in previous World Championships, so she's pretty good. Well, she's taking a while with this move. She may be close to a bingo. Nearly used up 4 minutes of the 20. Now, that's okay. No new opportunities provided, but Viney has not been blocked. Viney, 43. Wow, great score. Well, quite a balanced track. Certainly more vowels to look at now. I'm looking at the floaters in Horrent to see if I have a bingo. Ah, positing. Great. I do have a bingo in column 9, and I think so piting is also good. Great. Positing and sopiting remain available. I'm looking at the new floaters provided by my opponent, but I can't see any bingos there. So which is better, positing or sopiting? I think sopiting. It means if my opponent plays a 3-letter word in column 8, it will score less than with positing. Great, I have a bunch of 7-letter bingos here. Co-infer, conifer, enforce. I also have forensic and foreign-sec through the S of sopiting. Not sure if any of these play apart from the row B play, but it certainly is a nice-looking rack. So, do I have anything apart from a play through the S of sopiting? I can't see anything in rows N or O using the floaters in Vago. What about row M? Do I have anything which hooks UN or NY? Can't see anything, any 7-letter bingos beginning with an E. And enforce doesn't work, so I don't. What about down from the T of horrent? Can't see anything there. Infector might be good, but doesn't fit. So, at the moment, I have a bingo, but that could easily be blocked, especially if my opponent plays down from the triple word square at A8. If my opponent does block my bingos, I'll be looking to play off, well, either the F or the C, but preferably the F because it's the less bingo-y of the two. Just looking around in case there's an alternative bingo lane. But I can't see anything apart from the one I've already seen in row B. And conifers or co-infers is going to score the most in that spot because it places the F on the triple letter square at B6. Still 53 tiles in the bag. Just looking in column 8 for a bingo through the E of horrent, but any such bingo would have to end with that E, which would be a monumental overlap. But in any event, I can't see a play with those 8 tiles. I'm looking at the other floaters in sopiting, in case row B is blocked, and fabulous. Row B remains available. I'm going to go with co-infers rather than conifers because it's slightly more obscure and therefore may draw a challenge. 92 points. A dismal pickup, but with 7 random tiles. That happens all too often. But quite a few vowels on this board. I've got vild in column 4, V-I-L-D. That would sort the rack out. And I've also got the same word in row E. So this is not going to be a problem. I'm not going to score very much, certainly not in row E. but I have a good lead, and I have a choice of plays which resolve the rack, so I'm in reasonable shape. Now my higher scoring Wild spot is blocked. My lower scoring one remains available in row E, but before I play that, is there a better play that I have not yet spotted? And I'm looking round the board with the V in my mind. Well, I can't see anywhere better for it. Wild takes just an E after it, so I am opening up column 12, but that's okay because I have a huge lead. And I have the S, so my rack leave is quite bingo-y. Fabulous. I draw the second blank, and this is a massively bingo-y rack. I have the E for going on the end of Wild, so I have tonemes in column 12. Do I have something in row O beginning with the O of Vago? No, I can't see anything. What about row N beginning with the G and with S in third place? Can't see anything. What about beginning with an S underneath trunk? Stemson. Okay, so I have unblockable bingos. Certainly column 12 is going to score more than row N. But maybe I have further bingo lanes I haven't identified yet. Column 8 would be pretty good, beginning with the E of Horrent. But that would require an A or a U in front of the G, which would involve using my blank as one of those tiles, and I can't see such a bingo. But I think if my opponent blocks column 12, she's going to struggle to do so without creating new openings, unless, of course, she simply plays a word which ends with an E. Okay, great, she doesn't. So I have column 12. What should I play in that column? Do I have a play, for example, which places an M either on A12 or down here on H12? Tonemes doesn't work. Let me run through the alphabet and see if anything leaps out at me. Well, that looks like there is a bingo, but I can't see it in the heat of the moment. Entombs. Oh, well, no, that's hopeless. It doesn't hit even a double word square. I think this rack is so bingo-y that almost every 7-letter set is going to look like it's a bingo or very close to one. So I'm sure I'm going to overlook a lot. Temenos. Antonemes. Foments. Okay, well that's the best I've seen so far. Still doesn't quite fit the bill. Amongst. Nope. Moneths. Nope. Moisten. Montes. Ah, I thought that had done it. I think there's a couple of others here. Moisten, Montes. Okay, well I'm sure there are 2 other anagrams there. So still not seen the elusive bingo I'm looking for. Topsmen, postmen. Mentors. Montrez. Might be another one there. Stemson. Well, I think there probably are bingos better than this one. But I didn't see them in that run through, and I don't think it's a good use of my time trying to eke out every last point from this move, given my massive lead. So, Moneth's 77. Not a bingo rack, but I've got such a big lead now that I'm grateful to have a balance of vowels and consonants, plus some scoring tiles, so I ought to be able to score 30, about 30 or more points for the next couple of goes using the F, W, and C, which should see me through. I've got nearly 400 points, and there are still 29 tiles in the bag. Now, what can I do with this rack? I can play 4 at A13 down, F-A-W, and I've also got Cafe in that spot. Still 5 or 6 E's to come, so I don't need to hang on to my E. Where else is good for scoring tiles? Well, my opponent has not taken column 13, so I think that is the hottest spot. 21 points for her with soon. And I like 4 because it's going to score a lot. And Cafe retains the W, and C is a more bingo-y tile than the W. And although this rack leave is vowel heavy, they're all bingo-y tiles, and there is now a floating N and E and T, so I may get another bingo in this game. Especially as this 4 is going to tempt my opponent to play a 3-letter play in the top right, or at least take advantage of the MA hook, which I can take advantage of if my opponent doesn't, because I've got a C to go there. I draw the Z, which is a good scoring tile. I have too many vowels, but that is good when you've got a Z. So I play a Z double E would leave an OK rack leave. Now I've got C's, C-E-A, Z-E, beginning next to M-A in the top right of the board. That's going to score a lot. But since I've just played there, my opponent is likely to be drawn to that part of the board. I've also got Whiz in column 14, but that leaves a pretty unbalanced rack leave, although it is scoring 30 or 40 points. I'm looking around for other places for the Z. Well, I can't see anything great. I do have Wheeze, W-E-I-Z-E in column 14, but that doesn't score very much. And it places an E next to the double letter square at L15, which my opponent could score off with a 4-letter word in column 15. Not too many high-scoring tiles left, just the B, H, M, and Y. Wow, nice bingo by my opponent, who blocks C's. I do have seized in row K. I can't take advantage of either of these vowels next to triple letter squares, which is a shame. Now, do I have an alternative bingo here? Sorry, not bingo, an alternative play up here. Kaz is good, but Owa isn't. So I think I would be looking in vain up here. Do I have something better than seized? Well, seized is quite good. Looking around before, I hadn't seen anywhere great for my Z. Wow, look at all these A's that are left. But 36 points is a good score. Good. I only draw 2 of the A's. This actually looks quite bingo-y, but the board is not bingo friendly. No really great lanes available. Row N for bingos beginning with S under trunk, probably the most accessible. Through an L, I would have semi-gala. 2 L's left. So if my opponent were to play Zol in column 13, that would be perfect. Now, what about column 14, hooking MA? I've got a G, A, and M which can go there. I would have to put an E next to OE. So I could play Mega. That would be quite nice, splitting up the duplicate A, scoring a lot. Keeping AIS. That stays available. My opponent does play an L, but not such that I can play Semi-Gala. And she scores 38 points, which is a big score. So do I play Mega, or do I take advantage of the ZOA play? Well, what do I have down here? I have nothing which goes after EA apart from S. Only an A to go after AL, so I could play double A. Let me see what that scores, because there are still 3 A's to come. And since there are so many A's to come, if I don't take this spot, my opponent probably will. So yeah, I think this is quite good, playing off only 2 tiles. I don't particularly want high tile turnover right now, given that there's a queue still to come. Well, I do have an I. Okay, but there's nowhere I can play Chi and Chi. And Chi and it, so it wouldn't be a disaster drawing the queue, but I don't particularly want to court that tile. Pretty good. Nice balance rack. I dodged the queue. I've still got Mega in column 14, having drawn another A. I've also got nearly 500 points, so I should be hitting that mark next go. 5 tiles in the bag. I notice that my M and B can go on the triple letter squares, which are still available by 2 of the vowels in oriented. So I could play BAM in column 14 beside ORI, but I think Mega's going to score more. Now, do I have a bingo here? Just looking at the G and O of Vigo. Can't see anything through either of those. Allah takes an S to make a last, so row N is available for a 7-letter bingo ending in S. I don't think I have a bingo on my rack. Zoa doesn't take a hook. 4 minutes on my opponent's clock. Okay, well, my opponent has blocked all of my nice plays. 2 tiles in the bag. I could just play 2 tiles up here in column 14, maybe A and M, for 27 points, and that would keep alive the possibility of bingoing across here in row N. But my opponent would, of course, know precisely what my rack was, so could probably fairly easily block that, since that is the only bingo lane. But AM also has merit in terms of score, so I shouldn't dismiss it. I'm looking around for other opportunities to play my B and my M. Given that there are 2 tiles left, well, what about playing just the B here, leaving 1 in the bag? Then my opponent won't know exactly what I've got, and I'm retaining AM for Am and Mam next go. If my opponent's got the Q, she won't be blocking this spot. And this 6-letter set may go with one of the remaining tiles to make a bingo. Certainly Maigres and Mirages and Images is available if I draw the R. I'm likely to draw an I, simply on grounds of probability, in which case I don't think I have a 7. So, is there anything is there an alternative tile other than the B which would give me a bingo with an I? Well, I don't think I'm going to run my clock down thinking about that, although I may if I were in a tournament. So I think this is the highest score I can get for playing just the B. So I will go with this. Well, I dodged the I's, and this looks pretty good. Is there a 7 here? Through an E I would have mileages and Galcemia, but no floaters on this board. Well, I do have the G and the O. Nothing with the G, nothing beginning with the O. But is there I think if there is a bingo here, it's a playable bingo, it's going to be a 7. I don't think mileages was good without the middle E. And in any event, that has now been blocked. I can see what my opponent's got left, 5 vowels and an R, so she's not going to be going out in 1. I'm quickly scanning the board in case I've overlooked a bingo, overlooked a floater, and I haven't. So I need to go out in 2. I've got the I for taking advantage of QI. There's no N's or S's left, so maybe I can play the I this go and then stick my S underneath it next go. Chia is good, so do I have a play which has IA in it? Well, Glear works. But then then my opponent can easily play underneath that with OI. So that's not great. I don't think Chim is good, or Chig. Cheese is good, but I wanted to keep the S for QIS. So this isn't looking such a great idea. However, I don't need to take that spot. If my opponent does make QI, then I've still got the opportunity of playing my S underneath it. So, my scoring tile is the M. Where can I score well with the M? Well, I can play Am here, as mentioned earlier, 27 points, and if my opponent does play Chi, then I do have Glies on my rack, so it's possible that I could play that. So at the moment I can play Glies because I have Chi and Cheese. So do I have a second out for Glies? I'm wondering about Sigel, although that could be blocked by anything which blocks Glies. I'm thinking about going with this play. I have 4 minutes left. So 27 points for AM. I could play Meg down here for only 15. I think Am is a big enough score to justify playing this. Although really the test of a play at that point was to have a guaranteed out in 2, and I don't think I do have that for sure. Great, Glies remains available, and this is going to score quite well. What about maim? Is that good? Maim. Not totally sure. Fantastic. Perfect end to the game. Glies, 34. Just wait for my opponent to formally end the game. Which she does. And the final score, 316 to my opponent, 586 to me, a winning margin of 270 points. So a massive, massive victory. Let's see what I missed. It was me to go first. I had a bingo. I played Horrent. There were others. This was my opponent's rack. She played Jarell. And then I played Dunce, and that looks best. My opponent's rack, she played Bapu. And I had Viney for 43, which I was delighted to get, since this rack looks pretty unpromising. My opponent's rack, Vigo, which left available Positing and Soapiting. My opponent's rack, she played Trunk, which left a whole bunch of bingos available, and row B was the only bingo lane, so I'm delighted that remained available. My opponent's rack, not nice. Zoo for 36 was a nice score. And then this is my rack, and I played Vild for 16, and although Vol scores 8 more points, 3 consonants and a vowel is a lot better than 4 consonants. Whether it's 8 points better is arguable, but I would imagine that most is at least 4 or 5 points. It's going to be very close, and if moves are close, I would always choose the one with the better rack leave. My opponent's rack, she plays OU, leaving column 12 available for me, and Montems was the play I was struggling to find, the play which placed an M on A12, and that was the only such play. I went with a 77-point play, so I only lost 4 points, and had I have played Montems, I would have been providing my opponent access to the triple word square here, so the difference between my play and Montems is likely to be pretty small. My opponent has Widener and Re-Widen. Let's see if either of those went. They didn't. And then this was my rack. Now, I didn't play Wife, leaving double AC. I did see Cafe, but didn't like retaining the W. So, what did I do? I played 4 for 32 points, and I like that. This rack leave is easily more bingo-y than any of the ones higher up. Now, this was my opponent's rack, and this is where she played with Oriented. That was the only bingo, so a great spot by her. My rack, I played C's for 36. I could have got 9 more points for Fez. Ah, down here. No. Ah, Fez across here, F-E-Z. Okay, well, vowel heavy, but EI is also vowel heavy, so I suspect Fez may be slightly better, but column 14 is pretty hot with this vowel next to the E. Any high-scoring tile on this, 5 letters long, could be 50 points, so seized, probably not much worse than Fez, if at all. My opponent plays Halo. Wow, 46 points. Where's that? Ah, playing a C directly underneath Halo. Instead, I played double A for 31. Okay, I think some of these other plays were probably better. My opponent plays Yad. This was my rack. Wow, misoriented. That would have been fabulous. A 10-letter play. I didn't see that. Instead, I played just B, fishing for a bingo in row N. Now my opponent plays Chi. This was my rack. Well, no bingo. Misoriented still available. I played Am for 27, and then this was my opponent's rack. And she phonied playing Mame, which left Glies for 34 available, and that was the only outplay, so I was fortunate that my opponent didn't block it. Anyway, that was the end of the game. 586 points is huge. It's nearly 600, which doesn't happen very often. Certainly 500 is pretty rare, but 600 is a lot rarer and not achieved tonight. But always great to score a large amount, which 586 points is, and to win by a big margin, which in this case was over 200. So wide open game, lots of different racks to consider. Nothing too horrendous, but it wasn't totally easy either. So it was pretty challenging, but a good result in the end. So I hope you got something out of that and enjoyed watching it. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.